Laura, welcome back to the program.
What an intro, Benny. Holy
you know
smokes.
I'm right. You know I'm right. You know I'm right. People are like, oh, she's smiling, she's blonde, she's fit, she can do a pull-up. Like, that's fine. No, man. Laura Trump is a savage.
If you know, you know. That's all I'll say about it. And you know, so thank you. I appreciate it.
This man, James Comey, did so very much to torture your family and assisted, I think, in very much the dehumanization that we're seeing on the left right now of the right, the dehumanization that got bullets sent in the direction of your father-in-law's head, that took the life of Charlie Kirk this week, that led to a shooting at an ICE facility. And so I want justice here, and I think that actually it's justice that will turn the temperature down, quite frankly, on all of this. But that's just my take. The floor is yours, Laura.
Yeah, look, there has to be accountability. And I think that's what we're seeing happen now. It's a shame that our country has had to endure the past 9 years. And this is when this all started. Don't forget, this goes all the way back to Hillary Clinton, to the Steele dossier, to people within the FBI knowing full well that it was all phony and all fake. And they said, you know what, we'll go ahead and let this slide. It has put our country in such a bad spot, Benny. To your point, it has led us to the place we are right now. And you can't do things that are illegal. You can't perjure yourself. You can't lie to Congress. You can't do certain things that James Comey has done. And he very arrogantly, I think, has thought, well, no one's going to call me on this because I'm a pretty powerful guy or in the FBI. I can put 8647 and seashells on the beach and I can post a picture of it on social media. And I'm not going to really worry about it that much. That's distasteful and stupid. And I know he got visited by the Secret Service and asked about that, but you can't do things that are illegal. And unfortunately for him, he has done things that are illegal. And all we want in this country is accountability and justice. And, you look at an agency like the FBI and you think about the importance of it, Benny. You think about how important it is for people in this country to trust our fundamental and foundational institutions like the FBI. Their job is to keep Americans safe. And instead, under his leadership, it seems like they've done anything but that. It seems like he was doing anything except the job the FBI director is actually supposed to do while he was there in that office. And so we want to make sure people feel good about these institutions and these agencies when Donald Trump's tenure is up, at the very least. And if in the midst of that, people have broken the law, then as he said himself, no one, Benny, is above the law, and that includes James Comey.
I'm so glad that you brought this up. Here's the post. This is a direct death threat, according to all available nomenclature and understanding. This is James Comey placing seashells. He took the time to really do this and make a death threat. And in this current environment, we now know exactly how serious this is. This is a threat against your father-in-law, but also a threat against your family. And you just have such a important position here, Laura, because you've been able to witness it from the inside. We've all witnessed these threats against your family sort of from the outside collectively as a movement, but you saw it up close. You've been in the room when it happens, when your father-in-law is arrested, when your husband, who I think is the most subpoenaed man on earth.
Correct.
When those subpoenas come down, the attacks against your family. So this has got to have some special significance for you today from the inside.
Well, yeah, look, I think you look over the past 9 or 10 years, and it's been a crazy ride. And there were so many times where, as you're pointing out, there were some real lows out there. There were moments where we just said, what is happening? How is this even possible that these things are happening? And now we know that there were so many bad actors and people with bad intentions who really didn't care about the law here in America, who didn't care about our Constitution, who didn't care about the American people, because they were willing to do things that have never been done before and are so damaging and so dangerous to the future of our country. But you're right, specifically to our family. Yes. And so, look, I think that if people are going to finally get their due, it's not up to me. It's up to the courts. It's up to our legal system and the processes that will play out. But a grand jury felt like he had done enough, that they needed to indict him. And so here we are today. And look, there are a lot of people who've done some really dumb things, but you can't do dumb things when you're in a position of power and a position of influence, like a lot of these people have, and think that you're decisions to do it aren't going to have any repercussions. As you pointed out, there have been 2 assassination attempts against my father-in-law. Our friend Charlie Kirk is no longer here today because of the way these people have acted and operated. And, as a citizen of this country, I want to see the wrongs righted. I want to see people held accountable, and I want to see justice finally served. And so, it's an interesting time to be alive in America today. I think we'll all look back on this time and say, man, we lived through some wild stuff, but it was because the American people believed in this president who put people who actually want to follow the law in positions to do so, and in these positions of power, that hopefully all of the nasty, crazy stuff that's happened is exposed. We want to shine light in the dark places. We want to disinfect all of this, clean it out. It's such a rot and such a heavy, just disgusting weight that's been on our country for so long. I'm ready to see it all go.
Yes, and I'm ready to post this photo every second of every day for those who say, we've never seen anything like it before. No one's ever gone after the innocent people for political reasons before. I'm just like, everyone was in a coma for the last 4 years. And you witnessed it. Obviously, you saw what they were doing. There was a season between 2022 and 2023 where President Trump was indicted with seemingly every single month. In what now has been proven to be all fake charges. All of them. Not a single one of them stuck. Fake charges. Unlike the charges that were read against your father-in-law's assassin just in Florida just this past week, just 2 days ago, when they tried to kill. Those are real charges. That guy really tried to kill President Trump. And so perhaps you could sound off on the dichotomy between real and actual threats, true justice, versus whatever the hell this was.
Yeah, well, they had to go through such legal gymnastics in order to concoct some of these charges. You had people like Alvin Bragg, who was supposed to be the district attorney of New York City. This is the biggest city in our country. If nothing else, you want to protect the citizens of New York City, get the bad guys off the street, make sure you don't have criminals running around, people getting pushed in front of subway trains, women getting, murdered, the whole thing. But instead, he had to go back and manipulate the law and figure out any way he could get Donald Trump in a courtroom in downtown Manhattan. These people wasting their time on that nonsense put, law-abiding citizens and people who just tried to live their lives every day in danger. And, you can look at what they did to my father-in-law and our entire family and be pissed off about it, because we all are. It was wrong. It never should have happened. But then on the other side of that, you got to ask yourself, well, what people actually were in danger? What people were injured? What people were murdered based on the fact that these individuals like Alvin Bragg, like Fannie Willis down in Fulton County, Georgia, weren't actually focused on protecting their citizens. They were focused on this political garbage, because that's exactly what it is. And what kind of country are we ultimately if we let this happen and then we just say, you know what, we're just going to move on? We're not going to actually do anything about this. It was a tough time. It shouldn't have happened. But you know what? It's over. Let's just move on. Let's turn the other cheek. We have to fix this. This is literally the infection that is rotting our country. It has to be cleaned out. It has to be dealt with. All the people who did something wrong in this entire space, we all want accountability for. And I think that's at the very base of this, what the American people demanded on November 5th of 2024, when they overwhelmingly elected Donald Trump to be president again and swept the table for Republicans. They said, we're done with these lunatics on the left. We're done with this lawfare. We're done with these very un-American things that none of us recognize and none of us have ever seen happen, thank God, until now. And the time has come. People who have done the wrong thing, they probably should be nervous right now, because I can tell you, if you've broken the law, somebody is going to make sure that you're held to account.
Your personal message to James Comey today, Laura.
Well, you know what? I hope he takes a long, hard look at himself in a mirror, and I hope he starts to realize
I think
that
he likes doing that, actually.
He does love doing that. We know he loves doing it. Record a video, maybe play it back for yourself, whatever you need to do. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. And I hope you are ashamed of yourself, because the things you have done to my father-in-law, but to the entire country, are shameful. You were given a platform by which you should have been able to tell every American, look them in the eyes and say, I'm here to protect you. I'm here doing the job of FBI director for you, and I'm protecting American citizens. Instead, you played games, you played politics, and you did the wrong thing. And now, you know what? Whatever happens to you, whatever the legal system deems appropriate, I will allow it to bear out. But I hope he's ashamed of himself, and I hope he's really thinking seriously about the past 9 years of his life. And it's never too late to do the right thing. It's never too late to come forward and confess and say, I did all of these things wrong and I'm sorry about them, to apologize to America. Maybe this is the time to do that.
Maybe you could take a little bit of that Erica Kirk energy and just finally say, you know what? I'm sorry. Right? Like you could come to terms. Yeah, that's exactly right. You could come to terms with it for the sake of your mortal soul. I mean, quite frankly, it's a spiritual battle. I want to just leave with this, and maybe on a high note, Laura, a spiritual battle that you've been fighting and winning. It is obviously your family and your beautiful children who you share with the world by posting about your family life on social media. I think that's so critical. It's something that Charlie wanted us to constantly message about, which is being good fathers, being good parents, being mothers, wanting to carry forward the incredible legacy that was left to us by having children and instilling our values in them. And it's something that we've been talking about a lot. And since you and your husband, Eric, are so great at messaging this, I just wanted to give you in closing here an opportunity to just talk to the audience about that, maybe young women, about what this means to you, how important it is.
Well, I'll tell you, Benny, I've had a lot of titles, and I expect for the rest of my life, I will hold some other great titles. There is no title that will ever compare to the importance of mom. It is the most important job I have ever had. It is the most rewarding job I have ever had. And I think it's because this is what we're supposed to do. And I have to tell you, to all you women out there who say, I don't know, I'm not sure if I feel like I want to have kids. I was one of those people, believe it or not. And Eric had to be the one to say, all right, we got to get going on like having kids, and kind of push me into it. And every day I look at my children and I am so grateful that he did it when he did. And we have these two beautiful kids. There's nothing greater you will ever do with your life than to shape and mold the future of this country. And we do that by having children and leading them and showing them the way, and showing them through the example of us as their parents, how to be and what to do and how to be great people and citizens of this country. And, it's the most rewarding blessing you will ever have. And so I encourage everybody out there, don't think twice about it. You'll never regret it. You will never regret having a child, having multiple kids, which I'm going to get myself in hot water here because Eric Trump would love to have another kid, Benny. And so he's going to clip this and send it to me and say, well, why don't we go ahead and have number 3? But I digress. Do it. You'll never regret it. Greatest thing I've ever done, and most rewarding.
That sounds like an announcement. I'll leave that for the internal deliberations. I want number 5 in our household. Yes, I want number 5 in our. I'm proud to announce I want number 5 in our household. We're just so unbelievably thankful for that answer. I think more people need to hear it. It's such truly, like Charlie always viewed the political battles as emblematic of the actual cultural battles that we were fighting that were far more important. Politics would be downstream of culture, right? As Andrew Breitbart would say. And so the cultural battle is, are we starting families? Do we have something to live for? Do you have a connection to Christ, our Lord and Savior? And can you then create a family, right, that is Christ-centered? And so that's truly the way that you win. And it's something that I want to always constantly message. And I'm so proud that I'm so glad that your family does this and shares this. We are going to be, I know I've told you about it, we are going to be giving away 5,000 Charlie Kirk Freedom shirts at the Penn State game tomorrow. 5,000. Turning Point booth, we're going to be registering voters. Laura, I know the Trumps send their love to this. They fully endorse this event.
Yes.
Registering voters, tons of kids, tons of freedom shirts. And Laura, we just really, really thankful for you. Everyone follow Laura Trump, obviously, right here. You probably already do. She's got over 2 million subscribers here on X. We're just really proud to work with you, Laura.
Thank you. You are the best. Thanks for everything you do. Have a great time at the game. And thank you for continuing to register voters. This is going to be important going forward. We're picking up the mantle where Charlie laid it down. You're doing it. We're all doing it in our family. Everybody out there has to do it. We got to run with this, and we've got to make him proud. And we've got to do the things we know he would want us all to do. So I love that you guys are going to this Penn State Oregon game. Have the best time and get a lot of people registered to vote. That's so cool.
That's right. Absolute patriots. Godspeed, Laura.
Thank you. You too, my friend.